Good afternoon. Come on up front. Yeah, but it takes an act of God. Always. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. I love to see these smiling faces. I'm getting blind in my old age. I see y'all back there. Come on up. Come on up. Come on up.
What's your name?
Jennifer Beckley. And yours?
Donald McDonald.
Don McDonald. That's great.
When I was a junior, that was pretty bad on my dad.
Yeah, so was Bag Lady. Oh.
No.
Come on up front. Come on up, come on up, come on up, come on up. I don't have to talk. I don't have to strain my voice if everybody's closer. I don't have to strain my eyeballs, get a migraine for everybody in the back row. Come on up, come on up. Front row wants to grow. Back row doesn't know. You hear me? I'm just talking to myself. Good afternoon. How you doing? You're all smiley and everything. I love that. Right on. It is a great day. You guys worn out yet? Good. It's a great day. Hey, while you guys are waiting, there's a little half sheet of paper. Do me a favor, fill that out. When you write your information on there, pretend like your mom is looking at your handwriting.
Can you print it? You can reprint really.
Yes, print is perfect. Nice and clean. Right up front, I like your style. Good job, Miss Lady. Good afternoon. As you guys come in, there's a little half sheet of paper. Do me a favor, fill that out. Clean handwriting. Thank you, sir.
Oh, this is great.
Appreciate you. Thank you, thank you. I do, right next to you. Grab that one.
This one?
Yep. I only have a 20% chance of people coming up to the front rows anyway.
Oh. I like it.
Cards for you. Come on up. Lots of room up front. There you go. Good job. What was that? You're what?
We're Baptist.
Oh, what is that?
Citizens Baptist Church.
Oh,
That's about Citizens Baptist.
so who told you you were coming to church? I hear the stories. You guys, when you come in, there's a little half sheet of paper. Fill that out for me. Print as nicely as you can. And when you get done, somewhere on that sheet, just put the initials of the state you are in. Initials of the state. I don't care where it is. Anywhere on that sheet, just put the state you guys' office is located. Come on in, lots of room up front. All right, ready to roll? No? Okay, we're halfway ready to roll. How many of you guys are from the East Coast? All right. Florida on its own. Okay. Upper Midwest. South. Okay. West Coast. Canada. All right, Ontario. Ontario. I'm gonna need you to sit right here. My goodness, there's always one. All right, you guys, thank you so much for taking time to attend. You guys having a good time? Learning a bunch of information? Head going thump thump? No, you haven't seen anything yet. Fantastic. I'm Jennifer Bagley, CEO of CI Web Group. I have my colleague in the back and counterpart and road warrior, Mr. Michael Hicklin, Chief Operating Officer. And CI Web Group is a preferred digital marketing company, has been for many, many years. Majority of our business is now HVAC. You guys kind of owned and occupied our space and took over everything in our world, which has been really great because we're able to learn an industry inside and out and become subject matter experts in it in multiple areas of the nation, which is awesome. I mean, you guys are here because you want to grow. Yes? Okay, how many of you would like to grow as in expanding the region in which you take care of? You want to spread out, okay? How many of you would like to bring on more staff? Yeah. No staff, increase profits idea? Okay. In the back. All right. How many of you plan on selling the business at some point? That's your exit strategy, sailing off into the sunset, umbrellas in your drinks? Right next to your staff, huh? Just tell them early. How many of you have generational business? You have a son or a daughter you need to hand the company down to, or okay, relative. All right. The reason I ask you this is because no one can give you any advice on your business, especially when it comes to marketing, unless they know these answers. Because the difference in somebody who needs to hand the business over to a relative or their child is totally different than preparing a business to sell. It's also very different working with those with an exit strategy versus those that are just working and don't have that yet. Okay? How many of you are the owners? All right? How many of you are entrepreneurs? If you raise your hand on owner, you need to raise your hand right now. At some point, you guys sat down with the loved one and you told them this was a good idea. I can do this better myself. Let's start our own company. Right? At some point, that conversation took place somewhere. All entrepreneurs, it does. And when you made that, you had some bright ideas. You wanted more of a few things in life. Entrepreneurs start their business because they want more what? Survey says 3 things. Money, perfect, next. Time, next. How?
Well, they do.
Can I call it freedom? Every entrepreneur starts their business for the same 3 reasons. More time, more money, more freedom. Do you feel like you have it? I know what it's like to be an entrepreneur. I am one. I know what the blood, the sweat, the tears, the equity, the credit, and everything else that goes into running a business. It's a lot. And for someone who's never experienced that, they will have no clue the pressure that is on an entrepreneur. There is so much pressure that the majority of entrepreneurs forget the very reason why they started their businesses in the first place. So what if I told you guys that I wanted you to make a goal, short-term goal, and that goal is you want to take 3 to 6 weeks off in the middle of summer?
These 2 guys right here.
I always have a psycho laugh. Why would I want you to do that?
I'm gonna start getting there. Myself.
Okay?
Come back, you don't have a business then?
Come back and I don't want you to do that. I don't want you to
That's
fail.
what would happen.
Okay, so the reason I say that is because if you started this company because you want more time, money, and freedom, the short-term goal of being able to take a couple weeks off in the middle of summer will help you make better choices to get there. Without that, you will be a slave to your business forever. You will make decisions in silos that have nothing to do with the original goal of why you decided to do this. Become an entrepreneur. And everyone in here deserves to reach their goal. The original goal, not the little goals, not the quick wins, the long-term goal, a lifestyle goal. Every entrepreneur does this because of a lifestyle goal. And then we become an entrepreneur and all of a sudden we forget about it and we make decisions haphazardly at random with limited knowledge. Depends on how good the salesperson is on the other end. We don't necessarily put in the infrastructure in order to attain the original goal we sought after. If it's important to you, creating a short-term goal, that is, I want the ability to leave my business in the middle of summer, take a vacation, and I want it to be there when I get back running healthy. That kind of goal will make you make better decisions. It will help you fight for what's right, and it will keep you grounded on why you did this, because it's a big decision to become an entrepreneur. It impacts your entire life and your family's life. You agree?
Yes.
It does. It's no joke. I'm a realist. It takes a lot of years and very careful decisions in order to get to the point where this thing can run on its own. And for every one of you, I promise you, that is an option. It is an option to take that break. It is an option to remove yourself from the business. But first, we have to understand a few things. Where are you? Really, where are you? Where do you want to go? And what you're working with? And everyone, you know the song. Okay. So you hear me saying that inside. Okay, thank you. Okay. What are you working with? No one can give you any advice without knowing those 3 things, but how many salespeople call you up and try and sell you the wares and tears? Marketing, advertising. Hi, this is Jennifer from Google. No. You get calls from Google, I assume. Google doesn't have an outbound call center. That's scary. I get them too. I record them, put them on YouTube. Show their brilliant ways of scams. Okay. So I want to start with that because being an entrepreneur, it means a lot to me. I have a huge amount of appreciation. You guys should give yourself a hand, first of all, because this thing is hard. This is for you. All right. Let's get to business. Let's boil this down to consumers, because that's really what matters. We're going to make marketing easy. As difficult as it is, we're going to break it down and make it easy. Forget about your business for just a minute. Go back to being a consumer. If you need something, new product, new service, something on the house, what do? Google it? Okay, so for this series, you're going to raise your hand if this is you. If I ask a question, I want you to keep them up high enough so everybody can look around to get the data. How many of you Google it if you need something? Raise your hand, look around. Fantastic. Okay. When you Google something, how many of you click on the ads on the top of Google? First 3 ads on the top. Look around, raise your hand if you click on the ads. I have 2 and a maybe. Okay. Should I ask you who invests in pay-per-click? We'll just leave that alone. Pay-per-click is those ads at the very top. I love being a speaker because I get to go talk to audiences all over the entire nation. Literally, I've seen my house once since Christmas. We've been in at least 40 states. And my first time going home was going to be January 1st. Since, like, August. November. This is what I do. I would literally rather listen to a group of soccer moms tell me how they buy than an advertising company any day. 3 people raise their hand. I got, well, 2 and a maybe. How many of you click on the maps on a Google, first page of Google? Raise your hand high, look around. The map. If you don't know, just you can keep them down. Okay? I got 6. How many of you click on the first page of Google, top 10 results? Somewhere on the first page, top 10, raise your hands, look around, keep them up, and look around. Back, you got to stretch your neck. Okay? On the first page of Google, if you find a website and that website looks professional, you can tell who they are, what they do, where they do it, how to reach them, what other people think about them, quickly, without clicking. Do you guys then proceed to call? Yeah? Right on. What if the website doesn't say that? What if it looks scary? Like maybe you hired a triple F, friends, family, fools, felons, fast, free, something. What do you do then? Keep searching. Okay? If the site looked good, what else do you look for? What's next? What are you going to check out? Promotions. What else? Reviews. How many of you would go look at reviews before making a decision? Raise your hands, look around. That is marketing. As simple as that. Every room, every audience, every part of the country now. 3 years ago, I used to say Dubuque, Iowa is different. Every part of the country and abroad, Canada, answers the same exact way as a consumer. This is how I shop. This is how I make my decisions. I go to Google, do a search. I click on one of the links on the first 10 spots on the first page of Google under all that ad stuff. They use other terms. Once I click on it, if the site looks good and I can tell who they are, what they do, where they do it, how to reach them, I'll check out their reviews. And if that checks out, game on. Consumer makes a decision to move forward. You have to remember that story because it's real. Even when somebody comes and shows you all the charts and graphs and stats of every other kind of marketing thing you can do out there, every room, every audience, every family member of yours, every friend follows the same process. So when it comes to marketing our business, it's only a handful of things that are really, really high leveraged activities. I call them HLAs, and we all need to know what they are in our business. An HLA is a high leveraged activity. I give rewards in my company for people that focus on HLAs because I know that those HLAs have been defined and they get us closer to our goals. If everyone goes through the same process, we need to focus on a handful of things. We know how customers make their buying decisions. We also know, I'm back a slide, that we're an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur, another name for that is you are an investor in your business. You are the primary investor in your business in almost all cases. In time, sweat, blood equity, money, capital, credit, debt, and everything that goes on with that, right? So if I'm an investor in my business and I know how consumers search, when it comes to marketing the business, advertising and marketing, we'll bucket them for a minute. knowing the difference between an investment that produces long-term, permanent, compounding interest impacts on my business versus simple interest or temporary burning and churning of cash, hoping that it converts into more than what I spent. Those are two different buckets entirely. As an entrepreneur and an investor, being able to determine and decipher whether something is a long-term permanent investment that produces compounding results or short-term, I have nothing, zip, zero, zilch, nada, when I run out of money or stop spending. That's the first thing to being able to take those 3 weeks off, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks off during the middle of summer. I'm going to keep stretching it. It's to make your insides go. Do you guys agree? Does it make sense? Okay, so let's define those. What is something you invest in that is temporary? When you run out of money or you stop spending, you have nothing. Billboards, perfect. What else? What else? Radio. What else? Got teacher's pet up here. What was it?
The red door.
The red what?
The red door.
Direct door, yes. What else? Newspaper. What else? Good job. What else? Pay-per-click? Absolutely. Facebook ads? Absolutely. Advertising. In fact, it's the exact same list that if I send my kid to school today to go get a marketing degree, that's what they're still teaching. As consumers, do you respond to any of those? Only when you're thinking about buying it. That's because our brains have a little thing, and I'm called a reticular activator, that turns on when you're in the process of something and all of a sudden has you paying attention in your conscious to something different. You guys buy a car, you drive off the lot, all of a sudden you see the same car everywhere. He even looks like you. Same color, right? Ladies, you've had children, you've been pregnant. You don't see pregnant people right now, but when you were pregnant, you saw them everywhere like they dropped from outer space. That is a reticular activator. So when you are in the process of looking at possibly investing in something, i.e. pay-per-click, you're all of a sudden going to start paying attention to pay-per-click or ads or billboards or newspapers or magazines or anything else. Remember, it's a switch. It's just your brain taking something and moving it to your conscience that you never paid attention to before. My family owns a real estate company, and realtors are funny because the second they get their license, all of a sudden they start sending postcards everywhere. As a consumer, they never opened their mail, went straight to the, it depends. If they were on the East Coast, went to the garbage or the fireplace starter. If they were on the West Coast, recycling. Okay? They get really serious about that. Okay? Their shoes are recycled. Okay. So, in your business, it's the same way. All right? Permanent. What is something that is a marketing tactic or strategy that is permanent and has a long-term compounding interest impact on your business? Give me an example. You want to help? Website. Perfect. What else? What's inside of a website? Actually grows in strength over time. Reviews. Absolutely permanent. Compounding interest. What else? What is that right in the very back of the room in that corner? That's my husband. And beside him. What is that? It's a video camera. What's it doing? Recording. Why? Somebody said yesterday, because you want to watch it to improve. I was like, no, totally past that. Do 200 of these a year. I don't have that much time to watch them. So, it is, however, taking the hour I'm spending with you guys, digitizing it It's doing what you guys have probably said many times. If I could just clone myself, it'd be so much easier. Is that camera cloning me? I can slice and dice this video into 15 different videos, give them a different title, upload them to YouTube, optimize them for a different search term, throw them out onto blog posts, send them through my social media channels, and while I'm on vacation in a couple weeks in Zihuatanejo or a few weeks ago in Mexico, that video is doing what for me while I vacation? Is working. Permanent, compounding, long term. Walked into one of our dealers one time and they had all these pieces of paper and envelopes and mailers and they were so excited because they were doing handwritten letters to all their clients. Now, I got stressed because I'm not very good at paper. So my palms freaking out. Like, that's so much paper. She's got slices on her lips from licking them. Like her hand and her ice on them. I was like, totally good idea. But if I put that video camera in front of you and really quickly had to stand in front of it and say, hi, I'm Jennifer from ABC Heating and Air Conditioning, and I just wanted to personally thank you for choosing my company to take care of your home. If you know anybody that needs help with their heating or air conditioning needs, we greatly appreciate your referrals. And if you want to stop by our website, drop us a love note. We'd really appreciate it. One video, how many times can it work? Forever. No stamps, no sore hands. Just one. So start thinking that way when it comes to marketing, and you'll start thinking more like an investor in your business. Remember investor, and remember how do people search. How do people search? They go to Google, and when they go to Google, they're a suspect. If you are on page 1 of Google in the top 10 for the things you want to sell in the cities you want to sell them, you're a prospect. You now have prospects. And if your website looks good and your reviews look great when they get there, you've got third-party endorsements and it's professional and it looks good, they don't have to hunt, you don't make it hard on them, you're going to get a lead. Now you have the opportunity to go pitch at their kitchen table and turn it into a what? Paying customer. Okay? That's it. That is marketing 101. Now, let me back up before I go there. We own a digital marketing company. I am an entrepreneur. I didn't grow up in the marketing and advertising industry. I build companies for different reasons: to sell, to acquire, to sit on, to hand down to my kids. We call them Next Gen. There's a whole department in the company. I've met a lot of really good salespeople, including the people on my own team that work in one of these departments, that can pitch anything on this list as if it is the singular priority that you need right now. They're good at it. On my own team. You know why? Because all they know is social media. So you'll have some twit telling you need to tweet, and that's important, and why, and how many users, and everybody, the usage on Twitter, and they're going to get their stats and graphs and all their fancy stuff, and next thing you know, you're going to come back from an event, call your wife, and say, oh, we got to start tweeting. Doesn't even sound right. So, in my own world, I have to deal with this internally. You have to have a strategist that understands and knows how to properly do their homework to figure out where are you, where do you want to go, and what is it? What are you working with? Okay, you remember, you play that song for all these guys and it'll stick in their reticular activator. They won't forget it. All right, so it boils down to this. What do you want to sell? Where do you want to sell it? And when I say where, what I mean is city. I don't mean zip code. I don't mean county. Consumers don't search by those things. They look by city. Are you an option? When and where they're looking. And when they get there, do you look good? That's it. Good? All right. So, in order to do that, everything is based on doing the right things in the right order at the wrong time. Any wrong move will either expand the duration of time that it takes to get there or keep you from getting there at all. That's where this comes in. 12-step roadmap to achieve accelerated results. This is a guide. Everybody fits into this guide depending on where you are, where you want to go, what are you working with. You might fit into this different. But the bottom line is, if your website is not designed properly, it's not going to convert. If it's not developed properly, you're not going to be an option because you don't meet Google's requirements for the development standards. So if you have a GoDaddy website, Wix website, web.com website, some template website, if it was fast, free, friend made it, family member, if you had the lady in your office or your wife make it, that was not nice. They can't. It's impossible. Designers are creative. They dress nice. They have real friends. Developers don't. Friday night, you're like, what you doing, man? Hanging out. There's no people in your driveway. No cars. I know, I'm hanging out with friends. They're online. Their driveways are real living space. Okay? They work nights. They're like bats. They're weird. Okay? Very smart people. So smart, not smart. Social skills, okay? What about an engineer? You gotta have an engineer that understands all Google's regulations and requirements and goes by the math. And you know what? They don't make fast decisions, and they're not gonna buy into your, well, I really want fuchsia, not pink. They don't care. What they know is there is a chart that explains what colors convert, how bright the color should be, where it should be placed, exactly what place on the entire website will a heat map tell you you're going to get the highest probability of converting a new client. An engineer does not care about your personal perception at all. An engineer is going to be focused on what are Google's requirements. What does the data show? We need to get this thing live so we can get some data, so we can make some good decisions. Because right now, you're guessing. The data will tell us where we need to go. Do engineers guess? No, they research. They don't make fast decisions. All right, so if you hire the friend, the fam, Bob, Sherry, whoever, to do your website, they can't. It's not possible. The average project for us takes a team of 20 different subject matter experts to take care of each piece that they have to master, and they have to keep up with all the changes for that particular piece. So, what's inside a website? This is number 2, content. That is the most important part of your entire marketing budget and efforts, and it is the least budgeted for item from every entrepreneur is the creation of content or the cloning of yourself. We sit home and we say, I'm too busy. Or we're at work, I'm too busy. We wake up and say, I wish I could clone myself. I really like what she said about taking a vacation during the summer. That's impossible. I have the opportunity to clone myself and put the information in my head, because I'm the best salesperson, inside this tool where everybody can see it. Well, I am on vacation, but I'm too busy. It's called the rocking chair syndrome. Always moving, never going anywhere. For the mere fact that we say we shouldn't do it or can't do it, we probably absolutely have to do it. Okay? Content is your voice. It's your ability to speak. Why do they only get to hear you when you're in front of them? Because your only option to get in front of a consumer is a referral where they also went online, looked at your company, glanced at your reviews, and went to your website before you called, and no one can argue referral business because they drop out the same way people that find you online do. If your website looks bad, they don't call. If your reviews are non-existent or don't look good, they don't call. So, content, critical. I can tell, with only a couple exceptions, the annual sales by at least $1 million for almost every business based on the number of pages on their website. If a company has 24 pages or less, they're probably doing less than $500,000. If a company has 400 pages, they're probably sitting at $15 million. If they have 1,000 pages, they're probably sitting at $35 million. And I can tell you almost every number in between. The only difference is commercial business. Okay, next, conversions. When do you guys get to take care of your personal honey to-do list, your home stuff? Forget the business. Your things at home. Something's broke. Wife's got a list. When do you get to take care of your stuff? After 5 and on Saturdays. But 99% of HVAC companies say they close on weekends and after 5. Ouch. The average consumer does not have time to take care of a task like AC repair, AC installation, AC replacement, AC maintenance, AC tune-up. Same thing on furnace. They don't have time Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, but the majority of companies are out there saying we're available Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. In addition to that, the average consumer has no interest in spending thousands of dollars on a new heat pump. Hawaii, air conditioner. So, we need to make sure that our websites are designed to convert. Our local listings are designed to convert. So when a consumer at 2 o'clock in the morning and their little brain is going ding, 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 ding with all the things they forgot to do that day, and they're like, oh, got to call the HVAC guy, get my air conditioner system checked out. That they're able to Google it, AC repair in or AC service in whatever city you're in, or they're in, I should say. You need to show up on the first page of Google, and when they get to your site, it needs to say, schedule a time to talk about your new project. They pick out a time, 20-minute conversation, tomorrow at noon on their lunch break, boom, you saved yourself a client. Didn't mean you have to do the service in the middle of the night. It means your website needs to be able to take the appointment for someone who's bouncing around so they don't keep searching, so you don't lose the opportunity and never know you lost it. Make sense? Okay, conversions. Local listings. There are 60 primary, but over 100 local directory listings that most business owners are just not paying attention to. Problem is that marketing companies know that, so do competitors. Local directories are like Yahoo, Bing, City Search, MapQuest, Yelp. There's a bunch of them. So what happens is A, businesses don't have the correct information out there. They'll have wrong phone numbers, wrong addresses. Why? Because those companies will set up your account with the wrong information, so you call them and they can sell you on a subscription. So it doesn't mean because I never participated in local listings, you're not out there with the wrong information. That's their strategy. In addition to that, when your brand becomes more well-known or you've got a slick competitor or a slick marketing company, they will go claim the listings you've never claimed, change the phone number to theirs, a competitor's, and happily answer your phone calls until you figure it out. And it happens all the time. All the time. And you never know. They're just answering your calls. They're taking care of referral business that you don't know. So, for local listings, I'm going to come back to that and I'll show you some reports. Reviews. Everyone in here, raise their hand when we said if you found a company and their website looked good, you could see who they are, what they do, where they do it, how to reach them without moving. They're going to go check out reviews. Every single good business has a bad review. Every one of them. You know why? Because some moms give birth to grumpy people. They just do. Since birth. They're born grumpy. You can usually tell. They leave bad reviews everywhere. Like it's okay. It just makes them happy to leave bad review. They're usually someone who you've tried to help, and they're never happy. Give them a discount? Never happy. Overperformed? Never happy. The ones you really tried to help? Never happy. Grr. So, don't let that be the only thing they see. Okay, earlier I said that you need to be an option for what do you want to sell, where do you want to sell it. That single step, step number 5, there are multiple kinds of review acquisition strategies. One of them will allow you to capture reviews and display them on your website by city that you want to do business in or have done business in. That's considered new content and it's free. And it can help you actually make new money by getting ranked in a city that your office is not in because you have a page on your website. So for this, step number 2 and step number 5. You guys seen Bruce Almighty? The movie? Anyone? Okay. So basically, God's standing in this warehouse. There's a file cabinet. And he says to the guy coming in, he said, anything you've ever done, anything you've ever said, anything you've ever thought, it's in this drawer. And boom, this file cabinet flies across the entire warehouse with thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of pieces of paper in it. That is Google. When you search online, a computer opens a file cabinet with all of the likely results based on how those pages, not websites, individual pages were labeled. Okay? If you try and search for air conditioner, that's a big drawer. But if you start throwing other label information on it, like air conditioner repair, the drawer gets smaller. Air conditioner repair in, give me a city. Butler. Butler.
Georgia.
Georgia. I like you. Butler. If I go after air conditioner repair in Butler, Georgia, I need to be in the top 10 of, let me make that bigger. This is the number of pages in the drawer of 1.2 million pages. Okay? I'm going to get rid of Butler and just go after AC repair. You only need to be in the top 10 of 342 million, I didn't think about it for a second, pages to make any money. Which one's better? Well, yeah, 1.2 million, that's a walk in the park. How many pages are in the AC drawer? Okay, so all your companies and people building websites, when you have somebody separate, when all the resources are on different teams, A, they play badminton, knocking over whose fault bad performance is, but B, they don't know any better. On your guys' websites, every single page on your website that's focusing on a specific search term in a specific city, that when step number 4, 5, 6, and 7 are done, that page becomes popular enough. That's called search engine optimization. If you do everything on page 1 through 6, you now are able to do step 7, search engine optimization, which is the process of moving a single page on your website from the back of Google to the front of Google. This is what you want to see for growth. Let me go pull some keywords. A keyword is just, what do you want to sell? Furnace tune-ups. Where do you want to sell it? Blaine, Washington. The page in the drawer is Blaine, Washington Heating and Air Conditioning Services. That is not content that they wrote. Those are reviews they got in Blaine. Getting reviews in Blaine with content on the page now makes them money. Every one of these pages that is on page 1 of Google, keep going back to, how do people search? I go to Google, I Google it, I look in the top 10. What do you want to sell? Where do you want to sell it? Are you an option? So if you want to sell central HVAC systems in Blaine, Washington, central heating, Blaine, Washington, electric furnace replacement, Blaine, Washington, furnace tune-up, Arlington, Washington, central air conditioning, Burlington, Washington, air conditioner replacement, Bellingham, Washington. If that page is sitting on page 1, number 1, that's the position, you have a cash machine. Make sense? Yes? No content, no go. It is easy to make money, and it's easy to duplicate yourself. With that, I'm out of time. We made it to sort of step 7. I highly recommend you guys fill these out if you haven't already. Get them to Mike and Kathy before you walk out. We will do a complimentary analysis, which we do for our own clients. You should have that done every year no matter what. I can rip any website to shreds even if we built it. Why? Because you're never done. You're never done. Tell me you take the whole year off. All right, you're done. Other than that, you guys, thank you so much for spending time with me today. Sign up for the strategy session. The times fill fast. And we'll help you prioritize. Absolutely, you can take that. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you. Shoot.
They call you all the time. We need to move you up to number one position in Google.
Those are scammers.
How can everybody be number one?
You can't. Those are thieves. They're gonna ask you for a credit card, PayPal. Yeah, those are not legit. I have a ton of videos where I actually chastise the heck out of them online, make them answer a bunch of lies, and no,
Very good.
not true. Thank you, guys.
Question, after the pre-analysis, whatever is done, how quick is this actually? Once we,
session
once, the whole process. If I wanted to go through and we decide, okay, I want to go inside.
Yeah.
What's the,
So, getting a website, estimated 60 days. But you're moving into your summer, so that means you gotta commit. Because otherwise you have to go live with your website until you get past the summer if you disappear. Okay? So website 60 days. That's website content, writing, transfer, design, everything. You can go faster. It can take longer depending on how available you are. Okay? When it comes to search engine rankings, getting to page 1, position 1, go search for your primary key phrases with the city and see what that number is. It takes us 30 days per 100,000 pages. So if there's 300,000 pages for that particular combination, we can have you on page 1 in 3 months.
this, if I don't have this on I'll check. Is that
We gotta work hard. What city are you in?
Houston?
Your address is physically Houston?
Yes. Well, my business in Webster, which is.
Okay, Webster is what we would go after.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
Brentwood.
So-
Do you have a website?
I do not have a website,
Okay,
no.
I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Okay, so let me check something really fast. AC repair. So you need to go after Webster first. 340,000 pages. So get your website up, 3 months. So if you want to go after that phrase, you need 1 page of content. AC repair, Webster, Texas. Installation. So own and occupy that first. Google's not going to let you into other cities until you own the heck out of that.
Well, I don't y'all, you do this websites and everything?
All of it. Everything on
Yeah,
this.
so I would be interested in, I don't have any access to do that.
You don't have to do. We do it all.
That's what I'm saying, okay,
Yeah.
so that's,
But just giving you from a strategy standpoint, we have to concentrate on your primary physical location first. You have to make that look good, which some of that's your responsibility in getting reviews during the season. Build the reviews on your Google business listing. We take care of getting the website marketed and getting the rankings up. That's the first city you need to target. And then by next year, you start targeting additional cities. But Google's going to require that you make progress and you are performing well in the city your address is in first.
wouldn't you need a website first to get the reviews?
Yes.
Okay, so then, this is
Yeah.
something I need
Yeah.
to talk to you.
They'll help you. The local listings one, they'll help you. You want a Google business listing, that should be first. And you can start getting reviews on that right away. It's a pain while your website's not up, but you can do it. Even if you get your friends and your family and everyone else.
I always feel like people do that anyway.